Tintin XL 92.5 FM.
2 words, Camp Week.
Isn't that great?
I don't know what's going on in your life. Camp Week's going on in mine.
Yeah, can't wait.
Camp Week.
Can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Man, man, it seems like it just ended a day ago. But I'm ready.
I am ready.
All right.
It starts this week, and it'll wrap up first week of, second week of February.
I guess it will. Well, are you counting the parade or just the season?
I guess you have to count the parade.
I mean, that's in the season.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would say the parade sort of is the final.
Yeah.
You know.
So it starts Wednesday. It ends around Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I was going to say like February 17th.
Have
probably.
a parade.
Yeah.
Then take your honey out for Valentine's.
I mean, could you spend a better day?
It's a solid February is what that is. Frangie Carline, JJ LaSelva. I will say this from someone who kind of made a habit of driving to Bono's. I've been glad to pass the torch.
Yeah.
JJ, once again.
I'm happy to take it. Those are my people there, and they do a good thing, great product, and I enjoy it.
It's delicious.
Yes.
JJ was the loser again.
Thank you, John Rahm.
So here's the story. John Rahm lost for JJ. JJ went to Bono's, loser Monday from the Open. We'll talk about Scotty Scheffler in a minute. But here's the breaking story. I've checked Bill James, Guinness, all the world records I can.
Sagarin, have you checked in with
Sagarin? Jeff Sagarin, I hang.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I just called him.
He's over at the house all the time.
He is. And so, but I don't know that anyone's ever gone undefeated in a loser Monday season.
This is like a hitting 400 type.
This is like earth shattering.
I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
The pressure is already getting to us. I can already tell meeting with the team today to kind of go back over the Open and kind of peek ahead to the Tour Championship, what they're sort of thinking and what projects they're working on data-wise.
Right.
I can tell they're tight.
Yeah,
and I tried to just say, look, it's been a great season regardless. I mean, hopefully we do it, but if we don't do it, it's...
What do you have to lose?
Yeah,
really?
exactly. I mean, you would take losing once every year for the rest of your life if that's the case. So, but I can tell it's going to be a battle.
There's no question.
And there's going to be some tense moments in late August when we make our final picks for the Tour Championship.
We've had 6. Normally we have more. We just had vacations getting away. So our final Loser Monday contest will be the Tour Championship at the end of the summer, and we've had 6 so far. Normally, all the drama would be who's the overall loser, because JJ and I are dead even. We've both lost 3 times. I've lost the NCAA tournament, the PGA, and the U.S. Open. JJ's lost the Players, the NBA, and the British Open. So we've both lost 3 times. But that's not the drama. The drama, I will tell you right now, the 72 Dolphins are scared. Okay, it's a very nervous group right now.
I'm getting some texts that are sort of interesting from that stable.
It's a very nervous group right now. You know, they've huddled together. Mm-hmm. They're trying to figure out, is there a way they can sabotage this?
Yeah.
So this has never been done.
Never done. We've never had anyone go undefeated. Now, we've had more contests before.
That's a good point.
But we've never had, but nonetheless, undefeated is undefeated. We've never had anybody go undefeated in Loser Monday history.
Yeah, no one says about the Dolphins, well, you didn't play in a 17-game season.
Exactly right. So this has never happened.
Yeah, it's really intriguing from a coaching perspective. I've reached out to Bill Belichick to gauge his thoughts on what went wrong against the Giants because they were so close.
Yeah,
they were one away.
You don't need the helmet catch.
I don't need David Tyree showing up at the Tour Championship.
The helmet catch would not be good for you.
David Tyree Eagle to knock me out. I don't need that. So all you can do is reach out to people and and try and keep your people loose as best you can and
it's the big
hope for the best. I mean, it's really remarkable we're in this situation because we're going against 2 of the greatest competitors that the earth has ever known. And so, I mean, the fact that obviously it's amazing just to get to this point.
Yeah, and what I can't tell you, what I'll never reveal is whether or not in our locker room we're all saying he's not that good.
Yeah, that's what I'd be saying.
Our locker room looks like Wyndham Clark just got done.
Wyndham Clark just ran through the LaSelva locker room.
Oh, Wyndham Clark.
Oh, God bless him. So anyway,
he had a great weekend.
He did.
He was much like Bryson. They looked terrible on Thursday, and you're like, well, they're done. And the next thing you look up, and they're top 10.
Were you watching live when Kiz said, because I was.
Yeah, I was too.
When Kiz said, it's supposed to be sacred in
He's
there.
like the U.S. Open kind of screwed that up too.
First he said Wyndham did. Were you watching live at the time?
I wasn't watching when they talked about that.
He was watching, and Kiz goes, everybody messed up. Wyndham should have addressed it earlier. But he said, the locker room's supposed to be a sacred place. I don't know how those pictures got out there. Kids, every picture gets out everywhere.
Yeah, right. Because the internet destroyed him for that. Yeah. But I sort of agree with his point.
I do too, but but still.
And you would like to think that when it gets back to Oakmont in 7, 8 years, whatever, that they've made peace by then. And they allow a U.S. Open champion to play again.
And then you know what? He'll say, I'm sorry.
Exactly.
And the rich members will say, we're good.
I'm over it.
Yeah.
I'm still amazed he did it. I'm just amazed at the stupidity of Wyndham Clark in that moment. I mean, you're a grown man. I mean, control your emotions. This is
it's not football.
Sacred place in golf.
Yeah, and
you can't just take a hatchet to lockers at Oakmont.
And I will tell you, back to 7 or 8 years when it goes back to Oakmont, he may not even be a factor. He may be on the champion. I don't know how old he is. He might be on the Champions Tour by then. I guess he's not that old, but I mean,
he'll be able to play.
He'll be welcome back
because he's got a lifetime.
With having won the event prior, but that was the thing that I thought was so interesting about Royal Portrush this week is it was really only links golf on Thursday. Because when you think of links golf, the weather has to be in play for it to truly be a links test. You've got to gauge wind. You've got to gauge the wetness of the course, wetness of the ball. And we really only had that Thursday. Now, it's fine, and I'm not trying to insinuate there's some asterisk attached to Scheffler's win or the guys that rallied and played really well. But it was interesting in that the guys that didn't handle the weather on Thursday, once it cleared up, it wasn't just DeChambeau. I mean, he's the biggest name, and he deserves credit for finishing T10 after a disastrous Thursday. But like guys like Corey Connors, Ricky Fowler, Wyndham Clark, to JJ's point, there were a lot of guys that looked like they weren't going to make the cut after the first round that really got incredibly hot and took advantage of the benign conditions. But I thought the tournament was spectacular. Obviously we didn't have a lot of drama, but we did get to watch greatness at the highest level. And for me, that trumps, maybe not having a thrilling finish if it was sort of sloppy down the stretch. So, a great year for major championships. I include the Players' Championship in that. I think it's just been a sensational year for the elite events. And, now we'll see if the playoff can, provide any extra storylines.
And then the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
And then the Ryder Cup, which will be gigantic.
Yeah.
So I will say this. Number one, there wasn't nearly as much media, obviously. I can also tell you that the Nicklaus heyday was the 70s, and I was young. I was either middle school or high school, I graduated in 1976. The Nicklaus heyday, as everyone knows, really, he won the U.S. Open in 62, and he won a couple times, 63, 65, 66. But the heyday was the 70s. Okay, so the 60s and the 70s were the Nicklaus heyday. Well, I was born in 58, so I probably couldn't follow it as closely. Everybody he won 3 majors in the 80s, but 2 were in 1980, and then of course the legendary win at the Masters in 86. So I wasn't as into following golf then. I didn't play golf, and so for me, no one's debating the greatness of Nicklaus, but I wasn't watching it when it went stupid crazy like the Tiger thing did. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I just was too young and wasn't into it. So maybe had there been similar media in the 70s as there is today, and had I been older, I would have appreciated how Jack Nicklaus crazily dominated the world of golf the way Tiger did. But I don't. That's not in there for me. My dad was a big Nicklaus fan. Your dad, I think, was a big Nicklaus fan.
Absolutely.
But it still wasn't in there. So having said that, there's been nothing like this in my lifetime other than Tiger. This is the first. Tiger looked like he was playing a different sport. It just felt it was different. It was like he was using better clubs or playing shorter holes or putting into bigger holes.
It looked like an athlete against a bunch of
non-athletes.
Yeah, non-athletes. I guess
it was, but it was almost like he was cheating. If you didn't know he wasn't cheating, which he wasn't, it was almost like something was different. He was using a loaded ball, or they made the cup bigger or something. And it's no matter how good Rory and JT and Spieth and Dustin Johnson and DeChambeau and however many of them were, it never felt like that. To me, it feels like that now. It almost feels like somehow he's using a lighter ball. The cup's bigger because Scotty Scheffler toyed with this phenomenal field in this legendary golf course. It's almost like when he's had about enough of finishing way behind the pack, like third, or seventh. It was amazing. Again, and I'm not quite like you. I watched till the end because I like the way the timing sets up. You're done before the baseball starts, or about the time the baseball starts. But it did take the suspense out of it. There's no suspense. I didn't.
It was no drama.
I didn't care who finished second. I saw some people say I kept watching it. I didn't care who finished there. Well, he's made it like there's quite often no drama. He's taken the drama out. It's amazing. It's honest to God, Hayes. It's amazing what an incredibly good golfer he is. And we've seen, in my opinion, we've seen nothing like it. Nothing that even approached it. And I said this, that someone said, wait a minute, Tiger won 82 times, he's won 17. I said, that's not the point. My point is right now, the way it feels, I'm not saying he's as great as Tiger, of course he's not. But the way it feels every week, it hasn't felt like this since Tiger.
Yeah, if you put 2,000 Tiger Woods against 2025 Scotty Scheffler, I'm taking 2,000 Tiger Woods.
Me too.
But, and I'll say this for Scheffler, and I don't think this is that he's going away. But one of the prominent golf writers last night tweeted that Rory McIlroy hit his fourth major in about the same amount of time that Scheffler has hit his. He did it, obviously, he was younger.
And the time between all of his majors, like 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, were all like extremely close to McIlroy.
Correct.
Like, it was insane.
And so there was that for Rory for about, a year. And then Rory went like 10 years without winning a major, which no one would have ever guessed would be possible to happen. And, but it did. And Rory won some he won the Players in there. He won, obviously, the FedEx Cup. But so it's a tricky sport. But Rory was still, when Rory had that run, he was still a very young man. He was still a single guy. You didn't know how family life might affect him. What makes you think that this isn't going to change with Scheffler is, he's just such a grounded person, and that's what derailed Tiger Woods. If Tiger Woods had the off-the-course demeanor of Scotty Scheffler, he'd have won 37 majors. Yeah. He would have put that number so far ridiculously out in the stratosphere, it would have never even been sniffed. And there would be no debate over who's the greatest player ever. I still think it's Tiger Woods, but Jack Nicklaus does have the record. And to me, that's the NFL version of, look, Emmitt Smith has the record, but most people don't consider him to be the best running back who ever lived. And he was a hero to me growing up. And even I can concede that, just the fact that Emmitt Smith has the career rushing record doesn't make him the best running back of all time. But when you look at what Scotty Scheffler is doing now, there's nothing to suggest, barring an injury, that this is going away. His putting's become unbelievable. He doesn't miss inside 10 feet. He led the British Open in strokes gained putting. It was only the second time in his career that's ever happened. He's now won the British Open by 4, the PGA by 5. He won the 2024 Masters by 4. He won the 2023 Masters by 3. He's the only player in golf history that's ever done that. So he is doing some big things because, to your point, Frank, he's not just winning. He is burying these fields.
And I thought, to your point at the top of that comment, Jordan Spieth's point, Hayes, about him is what you just said. He's not going to get derailed, to your point about Tiger, he's not going to get derailed by off-course stuff. He's married. He's a very devout Christian, and his faith, he talks about his faith every time he gets a chance to. He seems to be in a wonderful marriage, and they've got a child, and he seems to be grounded. And
he's already been to jail?
Yeah. Right. He's a con.
Like, if that didn't affect him, what the hell will?
Right. Correct. But, this is just a regular cat. Now, he won't make the endorsement dollars the others made. He'll make some, but he won't be. It's kind of funny when you see him come out there. He's got the Nike swoosh on his hat and his shirt. It's about it. There's nothing fancy. There's not a lot of stuff.
And Spieth makes it sound like he doesn't care about any of that stuff, that he passes up corporate stuff all the time because he just doesn't have an interest in doing and being one of the king endorsers in the world of sports.
Yeah, what will be interesting is, for me, I don't think it'll derail him as a great player. It was amazing watching him this weekend. But what will happen if he keeps on this plane, and it looks like he's going to, I mean, this guy, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5 majors, right? Couple.
He's got 4. 2
Correct.
Masters, a British, and a PGA.
That's right. As they say, he was T2 at the U.S. Open.
Yeah, shame on him for only having 4 majors before he hits 30.
Yeah, 4 majors, 4 majors, and a T2 at the U.S. Open, and 2 players. Okay.
And a gold medal.
And a gold medal.
Which I know didn't exist, obviously, in Tiger's day, but it's nice to have.
But that's right. But that's right. So the point to this is, what happens if you look up and in 5 more years he's got 11 majors. Now it's in sight. Does he continue? I still don't think lifestyle will change, but the request for endorsements, the request for interviews, it'll be overwhelming. How does he deal with it then? Again, I don't think it's going to derail him, but he's a different guy. But we are watching one of the greatest of all time every week, and that's pretty cool stuff. It really is pretty cool stuff. All right, so we'll talk a little bit more about that later on. Let's take a break and then come back and talk Jags camp, man. I'm excited about it. I'm excited they're going to be on the field in 2 days. Rookies have already reported. Tomorrow, the veterans report. This is exciting stuff, man. It's about as exciting as it gets. We're all excited about it. Let's talk some Jaguars football to kick off this week. After this, stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
At 1010XL.
Red Moondog 711 4213.
We speak at least 5 different languages.
3 Rocket X Crash.
We have a PhD in sports talkology. 1010XL.
Hi, it's Frangie. Look, when it comes to glass, there's one name I trust, and that's Lee & Case Glass. Mirrors, custom showers, tabletops, even foggy glass windows, they handle all that. And they've been doing it right since long before I ever picked up a mic. Local, family-owned, and part of this community, just like we are. They've taken great care of me, including our brand-new walk-off offices. Guys, they did a great job, and I promise they'll do the same for you. Lee & Case, it's the clear choice. Check them out at leeandcaseglass.com.
This is Hayes Carline from my friend Holt at Harrell & Harrell. There doesn't seem to be enough time in the day to get everything done. Then you get injured in an accident and you don't know what you're going to do. Let Harrell & Harrell make it easy for you. Easy on becoming a client. You can just text or email if you want. Easy on finding a doctor and getting through the process. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harrell & Harrell and make it easy on yourself. Call them at 904-251-1111. That's 251-1111.
Hi, folks. I'm Frangie, and I got to tell you, I can't fix anything. I would be so lost with plumbing problems if not for Duck Duck Rooter. But everybody knows to call the Duck. Well, I do too. Whether it's plumbing, air conditioning, septic, they handle all of it, and nobody does a better job than our friends at Duck Duck Rooter. Any of those needs you have, call them today, 904-862-6769, or go to duckduckrooter.com. If you've got problems, call Duck Duck Rooter. They'll handle it. I guarantee it.
If your ride is making strange noises, don't wait and make it worse. Come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road. My expert technicians can diagnose the problem and likely fix it fast. Experience the difference at Action Transmission on Merrill Road.
Frangie here for South State Bank. At South State, they believe strong relationships build strong businesses. That's why they take the time to understand your goals, challenges, and vision so they can provide solutions tailored to your needs, like they've done for me for years. South State has always been there for our business and our charity. With a team you can trust and a commitment to personalized service, South State Bank is here to be more than your bank. They're your partner in business. Visit southstatebank.com. South State Bank, member FDIC.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
A judge swings a gavel and I pound the hammer. I'm not judging, just hammering. Hammer Time with Hayes Carlyon, weekdays on The Frangie Show.
On 1010XL, driven by Kia on Atlantic.
Are you living with diabetic neuropathy? That pain and numbness in your hands or feet? What about chronic knee or shoulder pain? Maybe you've tried various treatments, but they've been ineffective. Now there's a solution. Dr. Ferdinand Formoso specializes in advanced pain management and offers breakthrough neuromodulation treatments for those conditions. His innovative treatments target the source of your pain, offering relief where medications may fall short. All procedures are performed outpatient with no hospitalization required. Just a chance for you to feel and live better. If you want to learn more, Dr. Formoso is hosting free informational classes where he'll explain the benefits of neuromodulation therapies and how they can help eliminate your pain. Spaces are limited, so call to reserve your spot now with offices on the South Side, West Side, and Jacksonville Beach. Relief is possible with Formoso spine and joint pain specialists.
Baloo here for Smoonez Vision. Why Smoonez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smoonez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smoonez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smoonez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmoonezVision.com today. Here you can see.
Hey, poker players, Christmas in July is back at Best Bet, along with daily high hand promotions. This month, get ready to cash in on over $700,000 in high hands at all Best Bet locations. And ride the waves into Best Bet St. Augustine for chances to ride away on a Yamaha Wave Runner. From table games to tournaments, Best Bet has a spot for everyone. Visit BestBetJax.com. That's BestBetJax.com for all the exciting details.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Jacksonville Hickens calling it. Checkmate Coatings, my MVP. Tough, slick floors that dominate any space.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and now in St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
All right, Christmas in July is coming to an end, but not before Best Bet gives away $2,000 plus $100 table shares every hour from noon until midnight this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at all three Best Bet locations. Best Bet St. Augustine, right there on I-95. Best Bet Jacksonville on Monument Road in Orange Park. They're on US 17. Big deals as they wrap up Christmas in July this week. Head to Best Bet if you get an opportunity to. Boy, they do a great job. They're our Monday sponsor, always a Best Bet Monday around here. Frangie and Carline and La Selva with you. The Jags are on the field. All right. Excitement level on the side. We don't have to be objective media guys anymore. That day's over. I'm really excited. You?
It's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I mean, I really feel good about the direction of where the club is going. I love the fact that the division is as bad as it is. I think that gives you a ton of hope because I honestly think you have to beat an above average team and two lousy teams to win this thing. So, even though the Jaguars have been struggling in recent years, I don't think their talent is as big of an issue as you might think looking at their record over the last season and a half. I think they have talent. I think they've got harmony. And I think they've got innovation on both sides of the ball. And so they've got to stay healthy, obviously. But I am incredibly encouraged that this could be a really special time for this fan base.
Yeah, I will tell you this. we've talked about, and one thing about the offseason around here, you don't have a bunch of teams. There's not hockey, baseball, basketball. There's not a college team in town. We follow the Gators and Knowles and Bulldogs closely, Hurricanes, but this is the team. So for that reason, you talk all off season. We've talked about it many times. It's been a busy off season because coach gets fired, GM doesn't, then the GM does, then Baselli, then Gladstone, then Liam, then Travis Hunter. There's so much stuff. So we've really broken down every specific area, right? There's very few stones left unturned, excuse the cliche, but there really aren't. But what it comes down to on Wednesday is really one guy, that's 16. You know, no matter how much you talk about what will Travis Hunter, will Brian Thomas Jr. have an encore? How are they going to use Travis Hunter? Boy, they got a bunch of free agents in there. Man, they've rebuilt the offensive line. They've rebuilt, all the draft picks. Is Tootin going to beat out the running backs? Are they going to switch? Is the rookie going to win the left guard spot? Is De'Ami Brown going to be blah, 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 blah. We've talked about it forever. It now comes down to 16. It now comes down to Trevor Lawrence, who seems to be in a really good place. The times we've seen him interviewed or heard him interviewed or interviewed him, he seems to be in a very good place, a good headspace. We know he's a talented guy. He's working with a head coach who, as a coordinator a year ago, made Baker Mayfield by far better than he'd ever been as a pro. He's a run-first guy, and he's got some running backs and a more physical offensive line, he being Liam Cohen. But that's what we watch starting Wednesday, is does Trevor Lawrence take that next step that quarterbacks in year 5 take? That really is the question. And no matter where else you go, that's what will determine is this the season they take a major leap forward or not.
And I'm curious to see how assertive Trevor will be. When you think of Trevor Lawrence's Jaguars career, his rookie year he comes in, and you're a rookie. Hard to be assertive anyway, but they've also just hired Urban Meyer, who at the time was a coaching god.
Correct.
Certainly was in college football.
Yeah, I agree.
It turned out that he had no idea how the NFL works. You move on. Who's the next coach that Trevor Lawrence has? Oh, it's Doug Peterson, who just won a Super Bowl with the Eagles a few years before. So Trevor was going to defer to Doug Peterson. What I think is interesting now with Trevor and Liam Cohen is I think there can be a healthy dose from Trevor Lawrence of being assertive. You've been doing this job for several years now. You're going into year 5 doing this. Liam Cohen's never been a head coach. So, obviously you're going to defer to your head coach because he's your superior. He's your boss. But there does need to be from Trevor a greater sense of initiative and taking control of things when they need to be taken control of. So I do hope that the maturity that he has had now being in this league and now being with a head coach that is 0-0 lifetime in the NFL, didn't win a Super Bowl or win multiple college football national championships, my hope is that there'll be more of a partnership from the beginning instead of, okay, I'm the pupil, you're the teacher, and whatever you say I'm going to do.
And it's a great take, Hayes, and I'll tell you this. I got to know Doug Peterson pretty well. Doug shared a lot of stuff with me. We talked all the time. We talked after he no longer had the job. He came up, we hung out. I got to know Doug pretty well. And Doug Peterson told me when he was the coach here that he wanted to see Trevor be more assertive. But he said the problem Trevor Lawrence had, he said, some guys, quarterbacks, there's an arrogance, there's an aloofness, there's a lack of work ethic. He said, if the one thing that he, in his opinion, that he thought held Trevor back a little bit is he's so dang respectful, that he's so respectful of everybody else's space, everybody else's position and title. He doesn't ever want to step on not only a head coach, but a quarterback's coach or a coordinator or a wide receiver that's a veteran guy in the league. That's why he is so unbelievably well liked in the locker room. Trevor Lawrence, I will tell you this, everybody likes that.
I've never heard anybody say a bad thing about Trevor Lawrence. Never.
Everybody, every level everybody likes that cat. You almost have to have a little pissiness in you that you're going to tick off a guy or two when they don't run out a route and that was the thing that Doug Peterson told me. He said, I want to see Trevor. I want to see that part of Trevor. And it's weird when you say being so respectful is almost a detriment. But he's also really smart. And Trevor understands, I think, and Doug told me this too, Trevor understands that the more he leads, the better this team will be. So I think you're right. I think you will see that. I think that's coming. There's so much good about that guy. He'll pick up that part a little bit, and I think he'll do. You made the point. You made the point in one of the mini camps and OTAs that Trevor needs to grab his helmet or slam his helmet or something. I don't remember the phrase, something like that. And I got to thinking, I wonder if that's ever going to be him. So you are who you are. And I wonder, and can you lead if you're not like that? And I got thinking about it. All the great quarterbacks were leaders, but some weren't as feisty as others. Joe Montana wasn't jumping in your face. Marino was. You know what I mean? So, Manning and Brady were. They were. So I wonder sometimes, but I will tell you, I have a good feeling about Trevor Lawrence. He's so good on so many levels. He wants it so badly. I think, and again, if he's good, if he takes that next step, the stuff's there around him, I think, on offense. I really believe that. I like their running back room. I really love the receiver room. I hope they've improved the offensive line because I think it was a big weakness last year. I hope they've improved that. I have way more confidence in what I think the offense can be, even than I think the defense. The defense, I probably for me, and that's one of the things I was going to get to in the next segment with you, so I'll tease it now and then we'll get to it. But the defense has more question marks for me than the offense. I hope they get answered in camp, but I've got question marks about the defense. If we look up and instead of 10-7, they're 7-10 or whatever, I think it'll be some things didn't get solved in year one defensively. That's my take, which is why I almost wonder you're better off to play Travis Hunter more on that side of the ball, right? But so we'll get to that. But let me complete the thought on Trevor. We'll get to the break. We'll talk about the defense in a minute. I do get the feeling this is the year for him. And I'm not even talking about productivity or numbers or stuff. I get the feeling this is the year he walks out there and feels like and acts like and seems like a veteran NFL quarterback. I think this is the year 16 walks out there and it's his team. I don't know that I've felt that before. You with me on that?
Absolutely.
I don't know that I felt like it was his team. And you have to learn how to do that. You have to learn. You really do, Hayes. You have to learn how to be that guy. And you can't fake it. You can't fake that, And I think this is the year it's Trevor's team, which is gigantic in today's NFL.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, it's going to start with Trevor Lawrence looking around the locker room and seeing that there aren't too many guys in there that have been Jaguars longer than he has.
Yeah, good point.
And so, that obviously makes it easier to lead when you look around and, 90% of the room has arrived here after you have. And again, I think if you're Trevor Lawrence, and again, he's talked about this. I mean, the fact that you now can grow with Liam Cohen, who we don't have to guess if Liam Cohen is ahead of NFL defenses. We know that. How do we know that? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers were livid they lost him.
Right.
If Liam Cohen was just a guy as an offensive mind, Tampa Bay would have been like, all right, good luck to you.
Yeah, good point.
They still may not be over losing Liam Cohen. And certainly weren't over it by the combine. Maybe you started to hear pro days. It was getting maybe a little bit better, but there still seemed to be some ruffled feathers there. And I don't think it was over how Liam handled it. I think that was how the Bucs sort of portrayed it. The Bucs were upset because they were losing a gifted offensive mind. And now, if you're Trevor Lawrence, having the chance to work with that, somebody who knows where the league is going and is already ahead of the curve on that, it's something that Trevor's never had. He's had a head coach that had no idea what he was doing in Urban Meyer, and then he had a head coach that, by his own admission, was sort of running stuff that he'd been running for 8 or 9 years in the NFL, and this league is just going to catch you if you do that. So it's all out in front for Trevor Lawrence. It's the best supporting cast that he's ever had as a Jaguar. In my opinion, Liam Cohen's the best offensive mind that he's had. And yeah, the defense will figure out and we'll see. But yeah, I mean, look, if you're throwing it to Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter and De'Ami Brown, and, we'll see what Brenton Strange is. And, they've brought in a ton of offensive linemen to try and help you. You've got, 3 backs that you feel, are pretty good about. Yeah, I mean, it is certainly time, but it's time for the whole package. Like, I look at Trevor Lawrence and I see like Troy Aikman. Like Troy Aikman didn't have to be this dominant alpha leader with the Cowboys in that dynasty, because Michael Irvin was that and Emmitt Smith was that. And so he just had to be the steady ship, which is what Trevor Lawrence eventually hopefully can get to. But they don't have enough star talent yet for him to kind of default on the assertive leadership position. Like, he needs to do that. In time, if Travis Hunter becomes a star, if Brian Thomas Jr., and again, you can be assertive and be humble. I'm not suggesting Brian Thomas Jr. act like Michael Irvin. But my point is, those players responded to Michael Irvin as a football player, as a leader in that locker room. Brian Thomas Jr. can get to that point. Travis Hunter can get to that point. Maybe an offensive lineman. Maybe it's Wyatt Milam over time gets to that point. And Trevor can start taking a more comfortable step back. But there's too much of a void for him not to be assertive this season.
We'll take a break. When we come back, what are you concerned about? Is the Jag just at the start camp? And maybe we'll get some of those answers. Maybe you'll be less concerned afterwards. What do you feel good about? What are you more concerned about? What questions do you think you still need answered? Let's discuss it after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
It's always truck season at Nimnick Chevrolet. Well, this month, you can save up to 20% off a new Silverado or get financing rates as low as 0%. Now, unlike most dealerships, Nimnick Chevrolet is the largest inventory on the ground, ready for you to explore. And with their extensive selection, you're sure to find your perfect truck at Nimnick. Available now, the all-new Silverado EV with payments starting in the mid-200s. Designed to go the distance, the Silverado EV boasts 440 miles of range, more standard range than any competitor. You get the drill. They've got it, and they've got it waiting for you. And you know, Nimnick will always give you top dollar for your trade. Want an even better deal? Ask about demo models for deeper discounts. The bottom line is this. You head to Nimnick Chevrolet, and you're going to wind up getting a great, great deal. So who's got more new Silverados at the best prices? Nobody but Nimnick.
Another classic moment in Jags history.
They're going to sack him again. Josh Allen got him again. Back at the 42-yard line. And the career sack leader for the Jacksonville Jaguars, Josh Allen.
1010XL, home of the Jaguars.
Santa Claus normally avoids Florida this time of year, but not this year. Christmas in July is happening right now at Beard's Diamonds. Get up to 40% off now through July 27th. Beard's showcases are stocked with all new fashion jewelry, exquisite colored gemstone pieces, and the best selection of diamonds in North Florida. Rounds, emerald cuts, princess cuts, cushion cuts, ovals, from a half carat to 10 carats and more. Come and find the perfect engagement ring now at Beard's and save up to 40%. Beard's Diamonds at the shops at Town Center and online at beardsdiamonds.com.
Get this thing unwrapped here. Duval!
Praz, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, Dan. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. John's County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Daily Stash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, you know, like me. I'm sure there's a Daily Stash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course,
oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it," and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Daily Stash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Daily Stash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple of years ago. When it's smooth as silk, Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. Was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
It's Mike Dempsey, and now's the time to get your roof hurricane ready with Apex Roofing and Contracting of Jacks Beach. Look, our rainy season is no joke, and if your roof's got damage, leaks, or it's just plain worn out, don't wait. Apex is local, dependable, and will show up on time using only premium materials with ironclad warranties. No shortcuts, no stress, just quality work you can trust. Skip the storm season scramble. Reach for the peak with Apex Roofing and Contracting in Jacks Beach or visit apexroofingfl.com.
Hey, it's Joe C. When was the last time you flushed out your water heater? Flushing a water heater each year improves its efficiency and extends its lifespan. So call Roland Reese Plumbing for a routine water heater flush out and any other plumbing needs. 260-7059. Roland Reese Plumbing.
Are you ready to reclaim your backyard? Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, Surfside Pools is the trusted name for expert pool design. Family owned and operated, they offer pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools transform your backyard into the oasis that you crave. Are you ready to float happy? Visit surfsidepools.net or call 246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, where luxury meets leisure.
License number CPC 044080.
XL Primetime is back weekdays noon to 2, and on Wednesdays, join Dr. George Bari at 1:20 for the latest in sports injuries from all the big names in the game. Make sure you catch Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime Wednesdays at 1:20 on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
You've got a lot on your plate. The last thing you need is car trouble. At Maxie's Mechanics, we help you keep your cars, trucks, and SUVs running safely. Visit MaxieAutoRepair.com today for honest service, reliable repairs, and peace of mind for you and your family.
Been in a car crash? I'm local attorney Rick Alexander, and I've made it our mission at the Alexander Law Practice to listen to you so I can fight for the best possible result for you. I've been practicing over 30 years, and our team focuses on guiding you through the entire process. And because fees and reimbursement costs come out at the end of the case, I will never ask you to come out of pocket. For a free review, call 904-400-6600 or log on to alexanderlawpractice.com, Jacksonville.
David here with Royal Pest Services. It's back. Our summer Centricon Termite Special. New installs begin as low as $249. And if you have existing Centricon, but your renewal is through the roof, we can transfer you to Royal at no cost. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to schedule a free estimate.
If you're at home on the range, tee it up with the Edwin Watts Golf Hour. Tour news, local updates, and the latest gear. The Edwin Watts Golf Hour. Saturday morning at 10 on 1010XL. 1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
All right, welcome back to the program.
Here we go.
Here we go. You know what time it is? The 1010 Take. The 1010 Take is brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter, plumbing, septic, and air conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. DuckDuckRooter.com. My take is this. I love what I think Anthony Campanile is going to bring. I think he's an awfully good coordinator. I really do. And I'm very confident in a lot of the pieces on offense. My question is about a number of pieces on defense for the Jaguars, and can they be improved there? I love what they've done in building the team in the offseason. Great respect for Tony Baselli, James Gladstone, the whole build, the architectural process. I mean that sincerely. But I am concerned about defensive tackle. Is Devon Hamilton healthy? Is Eric Armstead got much left? Can Mason Smith take the next step? I am concerned about linebacker other than Foye Oluokun. Can Devin Lloyd play better at the lighter weight? Can Ventrell Miller stay on the field? I'm concerned about safety. I'm concerned about, does Caleb Bransall win a job? Does Dewey hold down the job? Will Darnell Savage play better than he has? So the middle of the defense, other than Foye Oluokun, is what I'm concerned about, and I need some answers there. I feel good about where they're going to be offensively. I really do. I feel good about the way they've improved the team. For me, the question is the middle of the defense, can they get that corrected? Can they get it corrected? And that's a big part of this team, and that is the 10-10 take.
Yeah, I think it's a huge variable because of everything that you mentioned. There just isn't a lot that you can hold on to as a proven commodity on that side of the ball. Anthony Campanile's never done this before. Now everybody believes he'll be able to do it, but we've been down that road many times, and it hasn't led to great results in the past as an organization. So the fact that he comes in with a lot of hype means absolutely nothing. When you look at they can count on Trayvon Walker and Josh Hines-Allen. But if something happens to one of them, even though they have signed Agba, they're doomed. I mean, they can't recover. If they were to lose Hines-Allen or Trayvon Walker for any length of time defensively, they're doomed. They won't stop anybody. Oluwakan you can count on in the middle, but he needs to make more big plays by his own admission. And so he's reliable. He's a great communicator. He's a great player in terms of expectations, but you'd like to see a little bit more of the forced fumbles and the picks and things that really swing a football game. Tyson Campbell is proven, but he's also proven to have durability issues. So, you got to have Tyson Campbell for, at least 15 games of the 17, ideally all of them. But if you lose Tyson Campbell, it falls off a cliff pretty quick in terms of what you have at corner. Safety, how could you be, anything but concerned? Because as we've talked about, it's a group of guys that you hope a couple of them can play at a high level. I mean, if they're just two guys out there, they're not going to be a very good defense. I mean, they may have two safeties that, they're in position and they don't make a lot of mental errors, but if they're not elite playmakers, then they're going to give up plays to the elite playmakers on the other side of the ball that they're going up against. And so, I think defensively, are you still holding out hope on Devin Lloyd? You mentioned Ventrell Miller's injury history. There is just so few. This I can count on. I mean, really, the things you can count on is you can count on Trayvon Walker because he's been durable, and I think Josh Hines-Allen has done enough in his career that you can count on Josh Hines-Allen.
No question.
Yeah, and so, but once you get beyond those two, and like I said, Oluwakan, but again, even Foye needs to make bigger plays. So, I mean, it's a lot of variables. Right. And Armstead's really only had one great year in his career in terms of sack numbers. So it's hard to anticipate you're going to look up and he's going to have 8.5. Right. Mason Smith is a hope, and I believe Mason Smith will live up to that, but he has to do it. So anytime in this league you've got that many variables, I mean, a lot of times 25% of those variables are going to hit and 75% aren't. Right. And if that happens with this defense, they're going to struggle.
So those are my concerns, and yours too, obviously. Here's the flip side of that, a flip side of that, and those are my concerns. There is a chance that Mason Smith plays like a second-round draft pick. There is a chance that Ventrell Miller stays on the field. Make no mistake about this. If Ventrell Miller stays on the field, he's a hell of a player. He's a very good National Football League player. It's just, I don't worry about him. I don't worry about him being out of position on pass defense. I don't worry about him missing tackles. I don't worry about him blowing assignments. I worry about him limping off the field. That's my concern. If Mason Smith emerges, if Ventrell Miller stays on the field, if one of the defensive backs that's new to the team can really help them, Jordan Lewis, whether he's slot or outside in base, Caleb Rensoff, he wins the job earlier than you thought. If one of those newcomers, so the potential's there for them to be pretty good on defense, it's just so many unanswered questions. So that's where I am with them, so many unanswered questions. I thought about this today, and we'll talk about it throughout camp. But as I prepared today's show, where am I confident? Okay, confident in the kicker.
Absolutely.
Confident in the punter. Okay.
No doubt.
I'm confident in
the long snapper.
Yeah, I am too. I'm confident in the receiver room. Maybe other people aren't. I think there's a budding megastar in Brian Thomas Jr. I think De'Ami Brown, you know me, he's the one guy that other people aren't talking about that I am. I don't have a lot of those. I don't have a lot of guys I'm talking about that others aren't, but he's my one. I think Travis Hunter will help them on offense. I think Parker Washington as a fourth receiver, if that's what he is good as the fourth receivers are. I think he's good. I don't have a good feel for Brenton Strange yet. I just haven't seen enough, but I've seen a little bit on Parker. I think between the three running backs, if I put Tootin in there, I'm not sure which one's best, but I think there's enough there. I think if you look at the good teams, they have two or three running backs. Nobody's got Barry Sanders anymore. I'll take it back. Saquon Barkley emerged as that, and Derrick Henry is that. But for the most part, it's not. The Chiefs haven't been winning with that. The Chiefs have been winning with Isaiah Pacheco, who's a good player. Okay, well, there's a chance This team's got a few of those, okay? If Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt is your backfield, this team's might have that. Might not have that, but it might have that. Okay, it doesn't have Derrick Henry or Saquon Barkley, but it might have that.
It'd be surprising if one of those three running backs, Etienne, Bigsby, Tootin, one of them didn't have a big year.
That's correct. And
I think it'll be Tootin, but it would be, to me, it would be a surprise if they were 0 for 3 on that trio.
And there's enough mix there. Travis Etienne is a very good third down back. Good in pass pro, good pass catcher. He's very fast. The other two guys can be downhill runners. So there's enough variety there. Same thing with the receiver room. There's enough variety there, and they're all fast. By the way, if you have three guys that can really who have jets, you pressure the defense. I'm going to trust them. I'm going to trust my friend Tony Baselli that Robert Hainsey and Patrick McCarry are physical football players because they did not have a very physical line. So I'm going to trust them there. So again, there's enough there offensively that I think they're going to be good on offense. I think they're going to be a top whatever on offense. Top 10, top 12 offense. Is that is it crazy to expect them to be a top 10 offense?
This guy just had Baker Mayfield throw over 40 touchdowns. Yes. So no, it's not.
Yeah. So
in my opinion, he just had a rookie running back emerge and have a huge year. He, obviously, and they survived the Godwin injury.
Yeah.
So he turned Godwin into a super. Godwin was a good player.
Correct.
But Godwin was off to an unbelievable start.
100%
before he dislocated the ankle.
Yeah. Before Chris Godwin,
and then they didn't drop off a cliff because he had the rookie Jalen McMillan ready to play.
You made a great point. Chris Godwin's a good player. Before the injury, Liam Cohen made him a really good player. That's a great point. That is I keep talking about.
He was averaging like 115 yards a game or something astronomical.
I keep talking about what he unlocked with Baker Mayfield. That I don't talk enough about Bucky Irving and Chris Godwin. And that's a really good. So I think they're going to be a top 10, top 12 offense. I'm not ready to pick them in a top 4 offense yet. But I see a top 10, top 12 offense that I am reasonably confident they will have. I really am. The question becomes, what will they have on defense? So I'm excited about it. I can't wait to see them. I can't wait to see them in uniform. I can't wait till Wednesday. I can't wait till the following Monday when they hit. I can't wait for the scrimmage a week from Friday. I can't wait for the preseason game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Speaking of which... See what I did there?
That was impressive.
Did you see that? I mean, I'll give you a segue when you don't even see one coming. I'll throw a segue at you that you have to be looking for. Okay, yeah. Let's give away 2 tickets to the Steeler game. You want to do that?
That was the Scotty Scheffler.
How about that?
Oh, look, there's Bennett running across the studio.
How about that?
Isn't that cute?
Yeah. So let's do that. Should we do that?
Yeah. How about that? We've got Jaguar tickets.
Tickets right now.
A family 4-pack of tickets.
Wait a minute.
To the Jaguars' first preseason game, which is on a Saturday night, August 9th at 7 p.m. against the Steelers.
You're thinking I'm giving away a ticket. Now you're wrong. You're thinking 2. You know what? Wrong again. You're thinking he must be giving away 3. Forget it. Okay. Family 4-pack right now to caller 4. Okay. 641-1010 to the Jags and the Steelers in the first game in uniform with Liam Cohen coaching the team. Right now, I need caller 4. You're going to see the Jags and the Steelers on that Saturday night. We'll take a break. We'll talk a little college ball after this. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Play-by-play sports just sounds better on radio. For high school, college, and pro sports play-by-play, turn on 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here for my friend and insurance agent Craig Dewhurst. Craig has been helping families on the First Coast with their insurance needs for 25 years as your good neighbor and local State Farm agent. Now's a great time to review your insurance policies, whether you need auto, homeowners, or renter's insurance, or insurance for your golf cart, boat, or jet skis. Craig handles all of my family's insurance needs, and even better, he gives back to the community. Call Craig today at 904-940-9740. That's 904-940-9740.
Here's Linda Beaver.
The dog days of summer are here, and so are the hottest deals of the year. Whether you're hauling down the street, cruising on the beach, or just escaping the heat, we have the ride you're looking for and the wow you experience you deserve. Save big on select models with sizzling summer savings, low financing, and limited time bonus cash on all trades. So don't sweat it. Come beat the heat at Beaver Automotive, where the summer deals will wow you.
Who says there's no free lunch? Join me, Prosser, and Jaguar and Gator legend Fred Taylor for free food and football talk Friday, August 8th at the Alhambra Theater. When you hear this...
Bye-bye! Brock Marion Dill chasing a 90-yard run.
Be caller 28 to win a pair of tickets to a free lunch with Fred. Doors open at 11. Jags talk, Gators talk, football talk, including a 1-hour Q&A with Freddie T, and we're buying your lunch. Stay tuned for this sound to win your tickets.
Bye-bye. Brock Marionville chasing a 90-yard run.
Courtesy of Jenkins Hyundai and Genesis of Jacksonville on Atlantic.
Attention men and women, if you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. HairForMe.com.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Football season is almost here, so before it arrives, I'm going to get my home organized. Lauren Brooks here. Closets by Design creates custom storage for every space, lifestyle, and budget. From closets to garages to laundry rooms or entertainment centers. Anywhere that needs to be organized. Call today to schedule a free in-home consultation and receive 40% off plus an additional 15% off with free installation. Yes, that's 40% off plus an additional 15% off during the month of July. Call 878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Are the Seminoles on their way to becoming a national power this fall? 1010XL takes you to the ACC kickoff in Charlotte, locked down by the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234. If you miss an interview, look for the best of at 1010XL.com.
Are you ready to play this summer? At the First Coast YMCA, we're committed to being your home for health and wellness and a place for friendly competition with team sports for adults and for kids. Basketball, volleyball, pickleball, flag football, soccer. The Y has something for everyone at any age. Discover all the benefits of YMCA membership and find your fun this summer at the Y. Registration for team sports and summer camps is open now. Visit fcymca.org.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
The best value for golf in Jacksonville remains Cimarron. Totally reestablished with new tee boxes, improved fairways and greens. Also a brand new restaurant with indoor and outdoor settings and live music. Join the Wild One loyalty program online at Cimarron Golf. When's the last time you played Cimarron? Cimarron Golf Club on 210, the Wild One.
I'm Renee Harrell. At Harrell & Harrell, we understand when you've been in an accident, there's a lot to handle. You've lost pay, and now the medical bills are piling up. When there isn't much insurance, some attorneys will pay your bills, take their fee, leaving you with even less than them. Not at Harrell & Harrell. We'll work hard to reduce your medical bills, and we promise our fee will never be more than you take home. Call us today, 904-251-1111. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Offices, Jacksonville.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, brought to you by First Coast YMCA. As the Jacksonville Jaguars prepare for the upcoming football season, the team announced 9 practice dates that are open to the public beginning July 23rd. Tickets to attend and parking are free with limited capacity, but advanced registration is required on the Jaguars training camp page. For all practices at the Miller Electric Center, parking lots open at 7 a.m., gates open at 7:45, and practice is expected to start at 8:30. Open practice dates include July 23rd to the 29th, with an exclusive season ticket holder day the 25th, then we'll finish up August 3rd and 5th. The scrimmage will be held on August 1st at 7 p.m. Parking lots open at 3:30 with complimentary general parking available upon registration for lots B, C, D, E, J, S, and X. Due to construction, only the West Club Gate and Gate 4 will be open for entry at 4:30 p.m. It's 92 degrees at 5:01. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and now in St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
Hump Day high hands every Wednesday in July are at Best Bet Jacksonville. That's over here on Monument Road. $300, $400, and $500 high hands every 20 minutes during selected times. And oh, by the way, there's only a few weeks left to earn entries to win a 2025 Wave Runner at the St. Augustine location. Every hour played is an entry earned. Grand prize drawing August 8th. Only at Best Bet St. Augustine. Thanks to the Best Bet. Always a Best Bet Monday around here. Boy, they do a great job at the Best Bet. So I was thinking about a college quarterback. All right. Because I'm just thinking the pressure on a college quarterback is always there. But to play at a blue blood among all blue bloods, maybe the richest college football program, with a last name that is football royalty, when you've never done anything. I'm trying to think, have we had a college football player, maybe Tebow, but I'm trying to think that it goes into his starting season with more pressure to live up to what he's supposed to than Arch Manning? I'm trying to think the last quarterback that had that much to live up to.
I think it's incredibly unique. I might have said Eli, but Eli went to Ole Miss.
Yeah, it's different. When you're at Ole Miss, it's different.
Yeah,
right.
So Eli kind of took the route of, I'm going to take pressure off of myself.
That's correct.
By going to my dad's alma mater, who's not traditionally known as a football. Like Peyton took it on. He went to Tennessee.
Yeah, and even Peyton didn't feel like this because the Manning name was big because of Archie.
Correct.
But it wasn't because of three quarterbacks.
Right.
Like it is now.
Correct. And so, I think what Arch is going up against is probably the most pressure-filled situation because of you just think excellence with the Manning name at quarterback. And if he doesn't play well, I mean, really, if Texas goes 10-2, it'll be considered a disaster of the season. And now, again, assuming if they were to get in the playoff with a 10-2 record, which they probably would, and they won the whole thing, then they'd be like Ryan Day. Let's just say they go 9-3 and barely miss it. Which, if they go 9-3, they probably will miss it because their league schedule isn't overly tough. They do play Ohio State, and that's a huge out-of-conference game, and I commend Texas for scheduling that. But yeah, if they miss the playoff, even at 9-3, which most schools would consider to be a pretty solid year, it'll be a disaster. Right. I mean, and again, the pressure I think mounts because of the world we live in. Yeah. I mean, every incompletion, interception is dissected. You've got analytics and people in the media now that are breaking it down from that perspective. You've got the fans that are breaking it down just from the perspective of did you win or lose the game? how'd you fare? And so, I mean, I don't think we've ever seen anything like this in terms of his story.
Not on a national level. I thought Tebow, I thought Todd Marinovich, because so much was made about Marv Marinovich being the psycho dad. I thought about that. We've had an awful lot that had gigantic expectations at their own schools. Heck, Bobby Sablehouse and Dan Kendra back in the day had that. There's plenty of that. There's plenty of the expectations at your school for whatever reason. DJ Lagway's got that. DJ Lagway's got unbearable pressure at his school because of all the expectations, but not nationally. There's nobody in Peoria or in Wyoming talking about how much pressure is on DJ Lagway. But in Peoria Sports Radio right now, they're maybe talking about Arch Manning because he's a Manning. It's just amazing how, I've really tried to think who qualified. There's been a lot of great quarterbacks that became gigantic names in college, Elway and Marino, that were gigantic names in the college space, but they became that after they started playing college football. They didn't go in as that. And so it'll be very interesting to see. Peyton, by the way, is close because Peyton was the son of Archie Manning, and everybody knew who he was, and he did go to a very prominent school in Tennessee. That's probably the closest. His uncle is probably the closest, isn't he?
That's what I would think, and it would have been Eli if Eli had decided to play for Texas, as opposed to Ole Miss or go to Tennessee or something like that. But the other thing with Arch Manning and why I think it's a unique pressure, if you're DJ Lagway, if you're any of these other big-time quarterbacks and you don't live up to expectations, well, at Thanksgiving dinner, you've escaped all that. Like, that's not coming up. If you're Arch Manning and you're a bust at Texas, you've got to, for the rest of your life, go to Thanksgiving dinners with Archie Manning as your granddad, Peyton Manning is your uncle, Eli Manning is your uncle. Yeah. You can't escape it.
Yeah, that's right.
So, that's
a great point.
There will be constant reminders of how you did not live up to the expectation if you're Arch Manning. Now, my guess is he'll live up to it and he'll be a good player, but if he isn't, there's no escaping it because of the family, and that's what makes it such a unique thing. DJ Lagway, it doesn't work out. He's still going to enjoy Thanksgiving dinner with his family for the rest of his life, and football just won't come up.
Yeah, and again, and correct, and because nobody in sports radio in Los Angeles is going to be talking about how DJ Lagway flopped at Florida. No, it'll never make Los Angeles sports radio forever. If DJ Lagway's not very good this year, and whatever happens, transfers out, doesn't play well, because nobody on the LA, Colin Cowherd is never going there, okay? And he's a national show. But if Arch Manning throws 4 interceptions against Ohio State and they lose 31-14, it will lead the Colin Cowherd show and every other national radio show. So and again, he knew what he signed up for. By all accounts, he looks like he's pretty grounded. He's very athletic, by the way. He's not just a drop back passer. He's by far the most athletic Manning. Mm-hmm. I mean, the other two Mannings couldn't run.
Yeah, because he's Cooper's son.
Yeah, right.
He's the receiver's son.
Right. Archie was athletic.
Yeah, Archie was athletic.
Peyton and Eli weren't at all. Correct. This guy, you're right. He's the receiver's son.
But Cooper Manning was a pretty athletic receiver at Ole Miss.
Correct.
Had a neck injury.
But that's right. That's a very good point. So he's a pretty good athlete. But I'm just trying to think of, even in the basketball space, I'm trying to think if there's pressure like that.
Bronny now.
Well, if Bronny was good, there's not pressure on Bronny because people never expected him to be that good.
Yeah.
But if Bronny was really good, well, then there'd have been enormous pressure on him because why can't you be good like your dad? But because nobody expected that. So it'll just be interesting to see as you watch college football this year, because I got to tell you, if you try and Matt Hayes and I were having this conversation when we were in Atlanta and eating dinner and talking to some of the other media members. If you had to guess, Arch Manning won because everyone knew his name. But if you asked me to guess who the SEC first team quarterback would be, he wouldn't be ahead of Nussmeier or Napier for me.
Or Sellers or Lagway for me.
Yeah. The Sellers or Lagway, I probably need to see more. But, I don't know that I'd have Lagway ahead of Arch. I just haven't seen enough. Lenore Sellers I might have. I might have seen enough of Lenore Sellers, So but I just think he's darn sure not ahead of John Napier or Garrett Nussmeier.
Yeah.
I was
surprised.
betting.
Yeah, the SEC preseason media team had Sellers as the first team quarterback, Nussmeier as the second team, and Arch Manning as the third team.
Yeah.
Which did surprise me because Napier is a great player.
Yeah.
He just must not. I think some of that is probably the SEC media contingent.
Yeah.
It's still kind of getting used to Oklahoma even being in the league.
That's correct.
So your mind just doesn't really go there. As an SEC fan yet, like it will in 5-10 years from now.
And as much as I love going to all those years to the SEC media days, the vote's a little bit silly because most people don't know that many guys on other people's teams.
Right.
They vote for the guys they saw there that week.
But quarterback, I think most of them should have a pretty good. Like, I'm with you. I've voted for that before in years past when we've gone, and like they've got like 40 people at like left guard, and you're sitting there like,
I don't know these guys.
I'll just pick the Georgia guy. I mean, what are we doing?
Or I'll pick the guy I just interviewed. You know,
right.
The guy,
I mean,
the
guy from, there's not like a returning first team all conference player.
Or the guy that Auburn was a good interview.
Right.
I'm going to pick him as well.
Yeah. So, but quarterback, I think most people have I would think a pretty good hold on that. So I was surprised Arch Manning was third. But again, that goes to just the hype around him.
Yeah, and he made that list because people knew his name. That's why he made the list. And that's no knock on him.
And Texas has a great team. Yeah. I mean, we talk about this with DJ Lagway. Like, DJ Lagway doesn't have to carry Florida's offense. They have good to great players all around him. Same thing with Arch Manning. Like, you can anticipate success because he's probably going to throw a ball high at times that a Texas receiver is going to pluck out of the air.
That's right.
Stiff arm the defender and run for a 65-yard touchdown. Exactly. And Arch Manning gets all the statistical credit for that.
Yeah, that's right. So, but this, I'm just thinking about the pressure on that kid this year. It'll be enormous. Let's take a break. Let's do. There's pressure on you right now to do headlines.
Big
okay,
pressure. You guys deserve some good ones.
It's camp week.
Yeah,
you can't kick off camp week with a bad headlines. I'm just telling you right now.
We've got a fantastic lead headline. I can tell you that coming up.
That's after this. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. But when it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You love sports. You live for the action.
He did it again!
Experience the excitement of the moment on 1010XL.
It's Christmas in July at Beard's Diamonds. Why not celebrate your anniversary with a stunning eternity band or a pair of diamond stud earrings? Buy now and get up to 40% off. Don't miss this annual event. Best prices of the year store-wide. And remember, Beard's Diamonds is your local jeweler with over 4 decades of delivering the best value, the best quality, and the best overall experience. With no commission salespeople, no corporate sales quotas, and no nonsense pricing. Beard's Diamonds at the shops at Town Center. Shop local. Shop Beard's.
This is Hayes Carlion for Harrell and Harrell. I was at lunch with my good friend Holt, and he was telling me that sometimes a lawyer can get more from a case than their own client. I was surprised to hear this, but Holt said that doesn't happen with Harrell and Harrell. They'll never take a fee that is greater than their own client. When they say they treat their clients as a person and not a file, they mean it. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harrell and Harrell at 904-251-1111. That's 904-251-1111.
Tired of high energy bills? Well, replace those inefficient windows and patio doors now. Don't miss Renewal by Anderson's summer sale. Buy 4 windows or doors and get the 5th one free. No money down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months, but this offer expires July 31st. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
When you need a mechanic you can trust, visit AA Automotive on Richard Street. For oil changes to complex repairs, AA Automotive is a full-service repair shop for personal and commercial fleet vehicles. Trust AA to keep your ride running A-OK.
Hey, Jacksonville, need a fence and ready to save? At Superior Fence and Rail, you'll lock in 5% off your fence project when you sign by the end of July. A limited time offer for savings and peace of mind this summer. Now accepting appointments for a free estimate. So act fast and get 5% off your entire fence project when you finalize by July 31st. Cannot be combined with other offers. New contracts only.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com. If fishing is in your DNA, hop in the boat with Captain Kevin. It's the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show, brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss and Royal Pest Services.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
Jeff Prosser here for Lloyd's Heating and Air. Need a leader for commercial, retail, multifamily, or hospitality projects? Or top-tier residential service? No gimmicks, no mascots, just real expertise and hard work. As your trusted statewide mechanical partner and local family-owned team, Lloyd's is the name Northeast Florida counts on. Visit LloydsHeatingandAir.com. Lloyd's Heating and Air, keeping you comfortable in every season.
Hi, folks. I'm Frangie, and I've got to tell you, I've heard Hacker and Mike and Matt talk so much about Awaken 180, how easily they were able to lose weight, how it works, the personalized coaching, the food choices, the whole bit, and I was really impressed. So when my daughter Amber told me she was trying to lose a few pounds, I recommended it. She and I both connected with the folks at Awaken 180 to learn more. Well, she started, and she absolutely loves it. She said the food choices are perfect for her. She loves her coach. She believes it truly will improve her overall health. Man, there's not much better than hearing your kid excited. I can assure you nobody means more to me than my daughter. And I wouldn't trust just any company to help her. But I trust the folks at Awaken 180. If you are ready to kickstart your transformation, you should give them a call at 844-346-1800 or visit awaken180weightloss.com. It's helped our family. It truly has. It can help yours as well. Give Awaken 180 a call today.
If someone you love needs a pick-me-up, then it's time to get serious about it. And send them a Kuhn floral arrangement. ET here with 1010XL. You'll be assured of a quality delivery, that's for sure. Log on and order online at kuhnflowers.com.
Hi, folks. Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Ever wonder what to do with leftover paint that you don't want? Here's a few options. Paint can be placed in the regular trash if it's dry. Simply stir in kitty litter to a thick consistency. Then wait a few days with the lid off till it dries. Also, if the paint is good, there's many charities or churches that would love to have it. If you'd like more tips or have a project, we'd love to help. Go to performance-painting.com. Performance Painting. Repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting. Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round.
It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell & Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
Don't settle for less than you deserve. You guys deserve some great headlines, and hopefully I will be able to give you some.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I mean, I hope so.
It's a high bar. Well, luckily, Frank, I have the ultimate trump card when it comes to today's headlines.
Yes.
Because I've got Mandarin's Bryson Wright making incredible catches in the NFL Flag Football Championships in Canton, Ohio. Bryson Wright, the 14-year-old, just extraordinary player, led his team to the championship. He scored 10 touchdowns in 7 games to win MVP honors. And one of those catches, it has been everywhere. I saw it on Good Morning America this morning. It was all over ESPN, all over Twitter. Patrick Mahomes commented about the great catch that Bryson Wright made. Really cool moment, and boy, will he be fun to document his high school career before he heads off to a very lucky football program.
Well, the schools have $20 million a year. I'm going to tell Billy Napier, give it all to him. Give him all 20. The one-handed catch, by the way.
That was absurd.
It was really, but I mean, he's 14 years old.
It's amazing.
And he's big, he's tall, and I thought in the interview he was great.
Yeah.
It's funny, he had the braces because he's a 14-year-old kid.
Yeah.
You know, but I thought he was great. He represented Jacksonville well. And boy, can you imagine what that recruitment's going to be like, though?
Oh.
I mean, in the NIL era, in the paid player era. Now we've moved on to the paid play. Can you imagine that recruitment? I mean, think about it. I mean, honestly, he
already has offers from everybody.
I was already thinking he might be the one guy that challenges that you can't go straight to the league thing. He may. If there's anyone who's going to challenge that, I know nobody wins it because I don't think an 18-year-old should play in the NFL. But my point is, I mean, if there's ever one guy,
he's special.
If there's one guy that was, assuming he continues to develop physically,
right?
If there's ever going to be one guy who challenged the whole, why do I have to wait 3 years to play in the NFL? He'd be the guy.
Yeah, I mean, if you looked at Calvin Johnson when he was 14 years old, Megatron, this is probably what he looked like.
That's probably exactly right.
So anyway, congratulations to Bryson Wright and his teammates and his coaches. What an unbelievable accomplishment, making Duval very proud. Let's get it to the Jaguars. Linebacker/edge Dennis Gardeck will start camp on the PUP list. No surprise, he tore his ACL last October. So, so we'll see. I would anticipate Gardeck will be fine by the time the Carolina Panthers roll in. But coming off an injury like that makes sense that, you want him to be 100% perfectly right before you put him out there on the practice field.
And I'm curious what he is. We came to believe he would be an edge. I wonder if he's edge, Sam, a little bit of all of it, playing space guy, come out to the quarterback some. I'll be interested to see what Dennis Gardeck is. And now we're gonna have to wait a little while to find that out.
Let's get it to around the NFL. Titans quarterback Will Levis done for the season. He's going to have shoulder surgery, so it is Cam Ward and not much else in Nashville, with Brandon Allen and Tim Boyle currently the backup. So Cam Ward locked and loaded for week 1 as the Titans quarterback.
Apparently that was Will Levis's decision. The Levis camp said, listen, we need to do this. It's the perfect time. I mean, he was not going to be their quarterback. There's no way he was going to be their quarterback. His future, unless Cam Ward flops, which I don't think he will, then Will Levis's future is somewhere else. Go ahead and get well. If you were going to be on the Titans team this year and you weren't going to play, and you have an injury, get the injury taken care of, so next year you can go try a rebirth. Look, I wasn't very impressed with him. I thought I'd be surprised if he makes it, but people get second chances and become better. Sometimes quarterbacks are way better at their second stop. Go get help. I think it's a good move by him, and I think he wasn't going to be the Titans quarterback, so I don't think they care. It worked out perfect.
I just wonder why you waited so damn long.
I know. Well, I'm sure he was hoping.
September.
Yeah, probably hoping it would heal. It would just heal, and it never did. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if Will Levis ever really emerges again in the NFL.
He's not a young guy.
They go through these guys quick. Yeah, he's already 26.
Yeah, so he's 26 now, and so he's going to be 27 before he gets that second crack.
Yeah,
at the very young.
And I don't know that anyone's going to give him one. I mean, again, it's a big time draft coming up. So, I mean, there's only 32 of these chairs. And, there's 10 excellent quarterbacks already, so that limits you now to 22. There's probably another 10 where the club's invested enough that they're going to give it another year or two before they move on. So that leaves you with about 12 clubs that, maybe aren't sure exactly what they have. But look, if there's 6 or 7 quarterbacks upcoming in this draft, and there are, then it makes it tough for a player like a Zach Wilson, a Will Levis, when your first opportunity didn't go well, to get that second chance.
Yeah, there's enough opportunities, and guys like Zach and Levis who understand scrutiny and understand pressure, that's valuable. That's why Sam Darnold and Geno Smith and guys like that bounce back later in their career, Derek Carr, because even when you fail at your first stop, there's enough. You understand how to deal with the attention. You grow up fast, and I think he would be one of those guys who grew up fast. So somebody's going to bring him to camp and give him a chance to make the roster for all those reasons.
Let's get to college football. ESPN lists the X Factor for its preseason top 25 teams. For UF, they went very obvious, the health of DJ Lagway. For Georgia, it's receiver Colby Young. And for Miami, their X Factor, it is the secondary. Again, you had to be in their preseason top 25 to warrant any mention here. Frank, after being at SEC Media Days last week and interviewing DJ Lagway and interviewing Billy Napier, do you feel like, obviously Lagway's health is important, but do you feel like now it's more a new injury arising? Do you feel like he's like 99% fine as we speak today?
I do. I think they have gone to great lengths to get him healthy. I don't think they're faking it. I think there was more shoulder stuff than I realized. I did not realize he had it before the season. I think he did have the sports hernia surgery. But I think they have really gone about it the right way, Hayes. He looks great. They have not rushed him. They have the medical plan for him, the rehab plan. I mean, look, we're not doctors, but it certainly seems it was very methodical. It was very thought out. and I think he's pretty healthy. But the reason that is such a story, to your point, is I will say it again. If DJ Lagway starts and finishes every game and finishes healthy, doesn't have to play. I mean, you're always beat up in football, but doesn't have to play on one leg like he did some last year. I think they have a really good team. And I'm not as convinced as you and some others are that he's going to be a great player, but I think he's going to be a good enough player that if he's healthy. So, yeah, to your question, I think the general consensus there was we'll see how good he is, but he certainly is now healthy. I think that was roundly agreed upon among the media sorts there.
Happy birthday to Gators coach Billy Napier, who turns 46 today. Frank, do you think he will still be the Gators coach in 2 years?
Yes.
I do too.
But I had to think about it.
He's 19-19 overall, but I think he's turned the corner.
Yeah, I think that's a yes. The perception of that schedule helps him again. Okay, that still helps. The fact that it looks like he's got the program in the right direction. Look, the question of Billy Napier, it's not is he a good person. It's not does he work hard. It's not can he build a roster. It's not can he find guys. It's not can he identify talent. It's on Saturday is he any good. We know February through August he's really good, right? How good is he on fall Saturdays? And we don't know. And I probably still have some doubts, to be honest with you. But the other thing I thought about, he's only 46.
And I thought that was young, too.
I mean, Steve Spurrier got the job when he was 44.
Yeah.
And it seems like Napier's been there 100 years and he's only 46.
That's the thing. I was like, wow, if Napier actually worked out, I mean, he theoretically could be at Florida for 20 more years.
Yeah, if you'd
no one, I don't think, is going to do that because it's such a pressure cooker job.
If you'd asked me, how old is Napier? I'd have gone 50, 51, somewhere there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have guessed 46.
I kind of thought the same thing. So anyway, happy birthday, Billy Napier, who hopefully will be in Gainesville for a long, long time. Let's get it to the British Open. Scotty Scheffler buries the field at 17 under par, winning by 4 shots in a drama-free final round. Earned Scheffler $3.1 million. The 29-year-old Scheffler now has 4 majors and 2 players and will go for the career Grand Slam at next year's U.S. Open. Unbelievable stuff.
He's not a guy that makes a lot of threes. He's not going to win a dunk contest, but he makes more layups than anybody in the history of basketball. That's who he is. He is one of the best you'll ever see at not beating himself. That's what I think Scotty Scheffler is. He's at some point, most golfers, even the best in the world, blow up some. That dude never does. Honestly, the vibe hasn't felt like this since Tiger.
When he had the double yesterday, I almost spit my drink.
Yes, that's the point, JJ. You're shocked when he messes up. You're shocked,
and then he immediately birdied. I think.
Yeah, his bounce back. They've talked about it all year. His bounce back after a bogey is otherworldly, and that was another example of it, as JJ mentioned. I thought Shane Lowry had a brilliant line on Saturday after his round. He was asked. At this point, he was about 8 shots off of Scheffler, and the reporter, who I think was trying to be kind of nice to him, said, what's your outlook going into maybe it was going into Saturday. I think it was after Friday's second round that Lowry made this comment, going into the weekend on the fringes of contention. And Shane Lowry said, when you're 8 shots back of Scotty Scheffler, you're not on the fringes of contention.
That's exactly is that what he said?
Yeah, and he's exactly right.
And we saw a ton of players' quotes about Scotty and how he's in a different league this time. Like, I'm talking guys like Rory, and Spieth that are just like, and it reminds me of Tiger quotes, the way that his peers are talking about him.
I thought it like we talked about when he had the great Thursday-Friday start. Because remember, he shot 68 on Thursday in the elements and didn't hit any fairways. Hit like 3 fairways and still was in great position. What he showed this week is what a competitive assassin he is. Everybody was talking about Rory McIlroy, Royal Portrush. It's in Rory McIlroy's backyard. The returning Masters champion hero, and Scotty Scheffler just dominated the Open in Rory McIlroy's backyard. And they're friends. I mean, it's a friendly rivalry. But to me, that was very Tiger-esque.
Yeah, when you said that last week, I got thinking about it. And number one, I agree with it. It's a great point because that was Rory's tournament to lose, and he lost it. But I don't know, Hayes. He is so good now. Rory isn't doing anything wrong. Rory isn't not seizing the moment. He just got caught playing in an era where the next Tiger's there. Rory's almost having some Mickelson moments. Mickelson was a great player. He just got caught playing in the same era when here comes Tiger.
Yeah. Rory honestly should be thankful that Scotty cut his hand.
Yeah.
Because he might not have that players in that Masters.
Great point.
But anyway, that's the game of golf, the rub of the greens, and Rory McIlroy has had an unbelievable year, but Scotty Scheffler looks to be just on a different planet than anybody else. Sticking with the British Open, how about Jaguar fan Harris English finishing second, solo second at 13 under. English is now 6th in the FedEx Cup standings. He's also in 6th place in the U.S. Ryder Cup standings. That's huge because the top 6 automatically make the team. So between Bryson Wright and Harris English, maybe some good vibes coming for the boys this fall.
Yeah, maybe. And Harris English, for people that don't know, he's from Georgia, but he is from South Georgia. He is a diehard Jaguars. And we've had him on the air and asked him about it. He just said, I fell in love with him early on, and I've never fallen out of love with him. So Harris English, the biggest Jaguar fan on tour, played very well in the Open.
Also T2 in the PGA this year.
He's had a great year.
Yeah.
I mean, he really has. And again, to be 6th in the FedEx Cup, he might win the playoff. And look, he's got a great chance to make the Ryder Cup team. In terms of it may not even be a captain's pick. He has a great chance to automatically qualify. Let's get it to our Loser Monday update. JJ takes the loss as John Rahm finishes T34 at 3 under. Rory and Xander, Frank in my selections, finished at 10 under, tying for 7. So we kind of made it a little difficult for JJ. So with one event to play, the Tour Championship in late August, it is Frank and JJ tied with 3 losses apiece.
Yeah, and one of us will be the overall loser, JJ, but that's not the story. You turn on CNN, MSNBC, Entertainment Network.
Ted
USA
Williams
Network.
is going for 400.
I mean, Ted Williams, and this is the biggest news in Loser Monday history, possibly 1010XL history, possibly radio history, possibly world history, that Hayes Carline could finish Loser Monday undefeated. It's never happened before. Will never happen again. It will. I mean, it's sorry, Pete Rose, but you were never catching DiMaggio, and that's what we're dealing with here.
And you got to pick a player that's going to be able to withstand that pressure at East Lake in Atlanta. Forget winning the Tour Championship.
Yeah, right.
Whichever golfer our team selects will be under immense pressure.
Enormous pressure. They'll be talking about it all over the world.
They're saying it's the 6th major.
Exactly. We'll see how.
I want to watch the coverage on Sky Sports.
It'll be interesting to see a month from now how that all wraps up. Did you see this on Saturday? Rory McIlroy's shot that unearthed the ball.
Crazy.
I've never seen that happen in golf.
I didn't see
so he hits it way right. But he hit it to where the gallery kind of was, so the ground was pretty trampled.
Right.
So it looked like a fantastic lie, and it dodged a bullet because there was some really heavy stuff around it.
Right.
But he had a pretty good lie. So he hits his shot, and immediately you knew something was wrong. He immediately was made some sort of comment, and this ball just pops up in front of him, goes about waist high, and then drops at his feet. And so
he just picks it up.
Yeah, picks it up and it's
ball.
like, what is this? And then throws it into one of the bushes. So as it turns out, a golf ball was embedded in the ground.
Wow.
Basically right below his ball. So when Rory hit his shot went about half the distance that Rory expected it to go, and out comes this other ball.
I'll be darned.
I had never seen it happen. The announcer said, I've never. It certainly looked like Rory had never seen it happen. One of the most peculiar things that we've ever seen in golf.
First of all, I didn't see that. I never saw that.
Go back and find the highlight. It's unbelievable.
Because if I had ever played Royal Portrush, I'd say, I lost that ball. That's the ball I lost.
Right.
That was that.
Imagine being the guy.
That was that Pro V I lost that day. So someone right now who's played Royal Portrush has said, I lost a ball on that hole.
Yeah. Absolutely. Let's get it to youth baseball. Walk-Off is offering the free fall developmental youth league for ages 6 through 12.
Yeah, we start September 1st. We practiced a couple weeks before that. I will tell you, the response to that has been fantastic. It doesn't cost anything. It's an 8-week league. It's a real tutorial league. It's 6 years old and above, up to 10 years old, 12 years old. It's mostly players that haven't played very much. It's not advanced players. It's not an advanced league. Anybody can play, but if you're a super advanced player, you'd probably be a little bored with it. But the response we're getting, Hayes, to it is really, really, really good. And we're having to add coaches, more coaches than we expected, and that's okay. And but we want this is the fall. Just learn a little bit about the game, and so we're very excited about that. So again, if you're interested in playing, walkoffcharities.com. Go right to the website and you can sign up, and it doesn't cost you a thing. So come play with us.
That's awesome. Very uplifting. Let's get it to pop culture. Terrible news in the entertainment world today is actor Malcolm Jamal Warner, who played Theo on all 8 seasons of The Cosby Show, died at the age of 54 in an accidental drowning. The actor was vacationing with family in Costa Rica. Talk about being a child of the 80s. I mean, Theo Huxtable, what a fantastic character. And just so sad that we've lost him.
It really is sad, and that show was a cultural phenomenon in a lot of ways. You know, it was sad afterwards to see what we really learned about Bill Cosby after the fact. It made, if you'd ever watched that show, it made you sad that that's who Bill Cosby was. But that doesn't change what that show and the impact that show had. And he was a big part of it. He was a relatable teen. He really was. The children were very relatable, and he was a very relatable teen. And as were all 3 children and mom and dad. So no, that was a sad story today.
Yeah.
That was a very, very, very sad story on every front.
Yeah, just 54. That's just tragic. Let's brighten our spirits back with a funny story in pop culture history, because on this day back in 1989, Milli Vanilli were caught lip syncing at a concert in Bristol, Connecticut.
Let me tell you what that did. That changed one of the great bands of all time. It took down the great Milli Vanilli.
Did you have to take down your poster after that news came out?
Didn't they have to give their Grammy
They did.
away
They had to give
back?
the Grammy back. It really was a sad story because one of them really took it hard and ended up committing suicide.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
I mean, a few years later, not like immediately. But yeah, they were like one of the bigger acts in music.
They were.
And everybody was stunned to find out they had nothing to do with the music. So... but if you were alive, if you were around in that era, that was big news.
Because it was very big news.
And there's still a cultural reference point whenever you're talking about somebody lying about singing.
Yeah. Because, to your point, I'm glad you explained this. It wasn't just one time they popped up on Saturday Night Live and did it. The word came out that that's how they always perform. That was the storyline.
Right.
Not that it just one time we've seen Britney Spears' sister, right?
Yeah, Ashley.
During SNL,
Yeah.
But she actually sings the songs on her record.
Correct.
These guys were never singing at all. It was a totally different singer.
That was the story, is that they weren't doing
That's crazy.
It was amazing. And we will get you out on our musical note of the day, celebrating a little bit of a higher echelon in terms of musicianship. 38 years ago today, one of the greatest debut albums in rock history was released. Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction. The album took a while to gain traction, but would ultimately go on to top the Billboard charts and sell more than 30 million copies. GNR was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2012. This is Paradise City.
This is a great rock and roll song, too, by the way. You talk about great rock and roll songs. This is a great rock and roll. I mean, I don't care what genre you prefer. This is a great rock and roll song. Well done.
Thank you.
Back to wrap the program after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
When your plumbing backs up, your septic's acting shady, or your AC quits on a 95-degree day, who are you going to call? Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Don't take just our word for it. Here's what real customers are saying about their experience with our company.
Megan in the office was so helpful and polite. Scheduling was easy, and the tech showed up right on time.
From plumbing and septic to air conditioning, we do it all. Call 904-862-6769 or online at duckrooter.com. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
When the unexpected happens, you shouldn't have to face it alone. I'm Chris Campione, and at Campione Law, we're here to fight for you. Whether it's an auto accident or a slip and fall, our Jacksonville team takes care of every detail, from investigating the incident to securing multi-million-dollar verdicts, so you can focus on getting better. And remember, you don't pay a dime unless we win your case. Our commitment is 24/7, bringing you the real support from real people who really care. Campione Law, your dedicated partners in justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Campione Law.
Say goodbye to glasses and contacts with customized vision treatments at Bowden & Associates. Hey, Hicken here. Dr. Bowden and his expert team bring you all the latest options like Evo implantable Caliber lenses, refractive lens exchange, or traditional LASIK. Tailored just for you. Imagine waking up to clear vision. No hassle, no fuss. You ready to see the difference? Call now or visit BowdenEye.com for a free screening. Bowden & Associates, keeping the first coast focused.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood. What is a gemologist?
Frank, that's a good question, because gemologist is a generic title that can be used by anyone, whether they have any gemological training or not. There's also a graduate gemologist, which is somebody that's taken the gemology courses of the Gemological Institute of America and received a diploma. Then there's a certified gemologist of the American Gem Society. They've received the graduate gemologist diploma, have worked in the jewelry business for a minimum of 3 years, and are tested by examination once a year to re-win the certified gemologist title. There's one other aspect that certified gemologists have that others might or might not have, and that's the accredited gemological equipment to be able to make the right grading calls on diamonds and other gemstones. At Underwoods, we have an American Gem Society accredited gem laboratory that our certified gemologists work in, assuring you the quality and value you deserve.
That's Underwoods, Florida's longest-standing member of the American Gem Society in San Marco, Avondale, the Shops of Ponte Vedra, Underwood Jewelers.
This is Hayes Carlyon for First Florida Credit Union. I bank with First Florida Credit Union because I trust them. I can always count on them when it comes to the vast services they provide. The online banking services are outstanding. So easy to use, depositing checks through the mobile app is fast and efficient. I also go to the branch off 210 in St. Johns County and the Durbin location, but they have 10 branches in the Jacksonville area. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
Listening that fits your schedule perfectly.
Absolutely brilliant.
Go on demand.
Ad-free shows after the live shows end.
How about that? Channel 5.
Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning. Search where you find podcasts.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative, here to share with you an actual client review.
Dude, these shirts are sick.
Check out the shirts and other sick promo items at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Right now, you may be running a little late, or feeling stressed, or overwhelmed, and you may be going a bit over the speed limit. So to help you relax, exhale. Ease up on the gas. You'll get there when you get there. Take a moment to just chill. This little break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Here's Linda Beaver.
The dog days of summer are here, and so are the hottest deals of the year. Whether you're hauling down the street, cruising on the beach, or just escaping the heat, we have the ride you're looking for and the wow you experience you deserve. Save big on select models with sizzling summer savings, low financing, and limited time bonus cash on all trades. So don't sweat it. Come beat the heat at Beaver Automotive, where the summer deals will wow you.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Want to grow your hair back?
IHRS, right here in Jacksonville, is the only hair transplant clinic in the country that offers multi-unit hair grafting, FUE NeoGraft hair transplants, and the 45-minute effective PRP treatments.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
Thank you, IHRS.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Schedule a free evaluation and find out how to grow your hair back and keep the hair you have. Call 904-777-IHRS. Take the first step to restoring your hair today. Visit hairforme.com.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
IHRS has been restoring hair for men and women for over 30 years.
Call now for a free in-person or virtual evaluation. 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Or visit hair4me.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, today on the program, we're getting you ready for camp. It is camp week. We've talked about training camp, what we're excited about, concerns we might have with the football team. We kind of went through that today. A lot of training camp preview, one more day of that. And then on Wednesday, it is training camp. We're excited about that. Scotty Scheffler, the greatest golfer since Tiger. I don't think there's much debate about that. We had that conversation today on the program as well. We talked a little college football about Arch Manning and the pressure on him. And, of course, Hayes did his normal good job on headlines. We picked up the pace on everything out. We are 2 days away from camp. JJ, I was saying we didn't get to baseball today, and we may not as football approaches. But I was thinking about, there's a lot of really good teams this year.
Yeah, a lot of surprises, I would say.
No question. But, if you look at the teams, if you look at the AL East with all four of those teams, Blue Jays, Yankees, Red Sox, Rays, the NL Central of all teams, the Cubs and Brewers are both really good. The Dodgers, Padres, and Giants are good. The Astros, there's a lot of the Phillies. Can I still count the Mets as good? They're pretty good. They've struggled.
Yeah,
but they'll make it. There's a lot of good teams. Usually there's 3 or 4 good teams, and then there's some others that are going to squeak into the playoffs.
And the Dodgers are not as elite great as they have been.
That's right. But there's usually baseball is usually 2 or 3 really good teams, maybe a fourth, but usually 2 or 3. And then some other teams that squeak into the playoffs.
To me, the American League is a complete toss-up.
Because they're good. Because they're all good.
I know Chicago's playing good, but I would still like Dodgers, Phillies in the NLCS.
Yeah.
But in the AL, it's a complete. I have no freaking idea. I watched the Braves Yankees this weekend, and the Yankees, although winning 2 or 3, their lineup just doesn't impress me whatsoever.
This might be the year that teams that traditionally haven't been there, Tigers, Blue Jays. I like the Cubs more than you do. It's really interesting. By the way, I will think is the Pirates are the worst team ever. They just got swept by the White Sox.
Oh no, they didn't.
Outscored 27-7.
Wow.
By the worst team in the American League. So the teams are terrible. So I'm one to talk. But I did get thinking about this. What would the Rays be if they didn't always give their guys away? As good as they've been anyway, Rosarina is an all-star. Aesop Paredes is leading the Astros in home runs. You can go around. Tyler Glass now is, when healthy, is one of the best right-handers. Can you imagine, JJ, if the Rays had ever, if somebody
if their top prospect wasn't in a jail and the DR.
That too, but that wasn't their fault.
Right.
The rest is if Patrick Zalupski, who's a wonderful guy, does buy them and puts money. Can you imagine what the Rays would have been in the last 7, 8, 9 years if they didn't give guys away right after they got expensive? Can you imagine?
They'd probably have won at least 3 AL East.
They would have.
And the Yankees would have a different manager because they would have had to fire Aaron Boone.
Just watching a Rosarina and Paredes and some of these guys that stopped by for a cup of coffee, helped the Rays get to the playoffs, then were shipped out for some young guys. I just can't imagine how good that team would be if they had just kept a little of that core together.
It honestly is the stuff that you'd make a movie about because Moneyball was such a huge success. And so they would look at that story if the Rays had that run.
Right.
Now, I get it. If you start paying guys to stay, then you're a little bit more in line with – but just the build of that, of all the talent that they have identified – acquired and developed,
drafted.
It's unbelievable. I'm not sure that there's a front office in all of professional sports that can rival what they've drafted. It's one thing to sign a free agent.
Pretty good, but
OKC'd be a great one.
If right now they had Willie Adames at short, Aesop Paredes at third, and a Rosarina in left. If right now they had those 3 and everybody else if they had those 3 guys right now, they might be the best team in baseball. And how about while I'm at it, let me put Blake Snell and Tyler Glasnow back there. How about that, JJ? Glasnow and Snell, Paredes, Adames, and Arozarena still on the team.
I'm not a huge Arozarena guy, but yeah, I get your But to Hayes' point, then that they would have one of the highest payrolls in the American League at that point.
But I mean, it's just amazing how. And again, my team is lousy and gets rid of their good players. Okay. Their team's really good, but gets rid of their good players. It's just amazing.
I was shocked to see the Braves are 13 games under 500.
Yeah, they're so bad.
Yeah, the Braves.
They're not just gonna have a bad season. I mean, they're gonna be
top 5 pick.
I mean, historically for them, bad.
Yeah. For them, it is historically bad. So it really is. So
that throw Acuna made the other night, though, that was
And by the way,
unbelievable.
People calling a Clemente throw was right.
Yeah.
Because you know what made it like a Clemente throw? One step. There was no crow hop.
Mm-hmm.
There was no running start. He took one step.
300 feet.
Yeah, I mean, even the third base coach was deked on that play. Pretty amazing stuff. All right, let's say hello to Rick Ballou.
Now, the 2-minute drill on 1010XL.
Man, the trip looked great. I got to tell you, of all the places you went to, we've been to a lot of them, but the one place we were going to go is Red Lodge, Montana.
Oh yeah,
near the Beartooth. Was it great?
It's like an old western town.
But it was a good, huh?
It was sensational. I mean, some of the saloons and some of the places there. It's like an old watching an old western, an old spaghetti western. You pull into a town, and you got a post office, a gas station, a saloon. A salon, a saloon, a nail place, a saloon.
I want to go right now. I want to go right now. I may not even finish the handoff. I may go right now. So
beers are like $2 or $3.
So what was the best place you went? Some of the waterfall pictures were fantastic.
Yeah, they were all so good. That in Idaho was spectacular.
Where were you in Idaho?
Well, here's what I did in Idaho now. Okay, you may not know this, but we stayed in Boise for the majority of the time, but I demanded that we went to Pocatello, Idaho. Let me tell you why. First of all, I was number 1 in Pocatello at nights when I used to work in Chicago. And number 2, I had gone through
a dome there?
Yeah, I had gone through the campus of Colorado. I saw Folsom Field, and then we saw the big blue field in Boise.
Right.
But as you go onto the campus of Idaho State, there's a big mailbox that's there as you actually enter the campus. So I took out a business card and I said, Florida State is interested in having you in for a home and not away, just a home. Please respond to me and I will carry on that message to the good folks in Tallahassee.
You know what? They'd be wise to listen.
Idaho State and Tallahassee. Are you kidding me?
Oh, man.
I can't think of anything better. The best part was Mount Rushmore, seeing the buffalo across the road.
Yeah.
Mount Rushmore is just, it goes through 3 states.
I'll tell you, if you don't follow Ballou on these social channels, I'm not.
I don't put them on Twitter because Twitter people hate you. They're like, screw you, Ballou. Talk. I put it on Facebook. And everyone does it.
I put everything on Twitter. It's the only place I go. But I'm telling you, I'm serious about this. And I love waterfalls. I tweet all those pictures. Yours were great.
Yeah,
that looked like a really fun time.
It was a blast, and went with my GF and her 6-year-old granddaughter. So 1,700 miles on the vehicles, and
awesome.
It was a blast. So we got that coming up tonight. We got obviously what happened yesterday. I was lucky enough to watch the British Open, and it's just gonna really set the scene now that football is here. About the storylines around here, I think each and every one is really intriguing, and it's interesting on which way it could go for so many of these teams. So that's the way we're going to begin.
All right, Rick Ballou goes into the night after his fantastic vacation to Montana and Idaho and parts like that. We will be tomorrow. One last show. It's the eve of camp. We'll have it for you tomorrow. We're out of here. For Hayes and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.